Hi, everyone, and welcome to Let's Talk Risk, where our goal is to engage, inspire, and empower the global community of risk practitioners. I'm your host, Naveen Agarwal, and today I'm super excited to welcome back Bijan Elahi, who I have come to admire a lot. And those of us who are active in the risk management field need no introduction to Bijan. But if you are new to this field, Bijan is a leading authority, a globally recognized voice in safety risk management of medical device. He has a lot of experience in the industry, and currently he teaches at Drexel University and Eindhoven University of Technology, and also involved in a lot of other academic activities. Most recently, Bijan organized a very wonderful conference in Amsterdam, the International Conference on Medical Device Safety Risk Management. So, we're going to talk about this conference today, and hopefully, we'll get you excited about what's coming in the future. With that, Bijan, welcome to the show. How are you today?
Hi, Naveen. I'm great. Good to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Awesome, Bijan. So, I know this was a wonderful conference. I had an opportunity to participate in that. But as the leading organizer and the brain behind the conference, I want to start by asking you, what was your personal impression? What stood out to you from the 2025 conference in Amsterdam?
Well, Naveen, the 2025 conference was held in Amsterdam, and it really was an amazing success. We brought together leading experts in medical device risk management from around the world. They came to share their knowledge, challenge assumptions, explore new ideas, and a lot of collaborations actually sparked from that. This conference is not your normal conference. It's really a community, it's a global community coming together. And for me, it was thrilling to witness the energy and the enthusiasm of all the attendees. It was really a great experience.
Yes, and I could feel that myself. There was an excitement in the air, and people were really excited to be there because everyone felt like there was a big gap in our domain where we don't have many forums where we talk specifically about safety risk management of medical devices. So, Bijan, give us a little bit of a background story around it. How did this idea start, and what prompted you to really do this?
Yeah, I've been in the field of safety risk management for many years, about maybe 30 years now. And I have tried to find a conference that attends or pays attention to medical devices. I've attended a lot of conferences for years, and they were mostly focused on safety, but in other domains like in aviation, space, automotive, nuclear, defense, and all those areas. But not anything that is really about medical device technology. As much as I tried to make it happen, it just wasn't happening. So finally, in late 2023, I talked to some of my other colleagues that were interested in the subject. I said, why don't we just do our own conference? So we thought, yeah, let's just get together and do something. And at the time, I used to work at Medtronic. I asked Medtronic if they would offer us their facilities. Graciously gave us the use of their headquarters in Minneapolis. And in fact, the CEO of Medtronic came and kicked off the conference. And it was our first time. We really didn't know what we were doing, but it was to my amazement, it was sold out. It was the entire capacity was filled, and in fact, there were more people that wanted to join. So he said, "Well, let's just put a camera on out and just broadcast it so others can join." So it was such a great success that, and this enthusiasm and energy that you were talking about, it was really palpable there. So at
Mhm.
the end of it, I said, "Hey, this was good. Let's do this again." But I noticed that there were a lot of people that had traveled from Europe to
Mhm.
Minneapolis. And I said, in fairness, let's do this on the other side of the Atlantic in
Mhm.
2025. So we held it in Amsterdam this year, and
Mhm.
we'll come back to America in 2026.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in just a moment. So, Bijan, I think that when we talk about safety risk management of medical devices, we have a special perspective on this, and we are very patient centric. And this theme also emerged during many conversations, both on stage and informal conversations. Can you tell us a little bit about how the industry is evolving in that direction?
Yeah, I think there is a growing awareness, both in industry and among regulators, that patient safety and risk management, while closely connected, are not the same thing. Of course, risk management is essential, but it's only part of the picture. when we intentionally put the patient at the center of our design and development thinking, we build a foundation that goes beyond just compliance. And it really focuses on patient safety at the center of our thoughts. And with this mindset, we can make patient safety our North Star, our guiding light, and that would lead us toward not only safer, but also more effective products.
Yeah, but Bijan, some could argue that if you read the mission statements and value statements of major medtech companies, they say that already. So why do we feel that there's a need to emphasize this point even more?
I think sometimes it is just a statement on paper. And the goal, I think, here is to make it real by bringing it into the forefront of the thoughts of people in every aspects of medical device manufacturing, be it design and development or quality or regulatory. A lot of times, at least for those of us who have been in product development, you find that you get so focused on making the product work and troubleshooting that safety kind of goes into the background. And this is a motivation to keep it in the forefront of our thoughts.
Yeah, and I feel like conference like this and our forum here on Let's Talk Risk really offers an opportunity for people to keep these conversations alive. And I know among our colleagues and peers, because I could see that in the conference, this is top of mind. This is
Mhm.
within their hearts, within their minds, everything they want to do it. Because let's face it, work in medical device industry is not easy. It takes a lot from every individual, and we show up with that passion. So
Yeah. Yeah.
my hope is that with these conversations, we can do like uh, you know, raise this spirit from the ground up and make
Yeah.
sure that when we are confronted with business decisions, that we bring our voices up. So I hope people will take that message.
Naveen, I don't know if you remember, but two of our speakers, they themselves are patients of medical devices. And one of them was saying, like, he didn't even know how much more life he has got. How long, much longer he was going to live. And he was passionate about how important the safety of these devices are. He says, I depend on you guys. And, even for myself, my mother became the user of the medical devices I worked on. So I know it can become personal.
Yes, absolutely. And we have wonderful comments floating in from our audience today. We have a comment here: bringing patient safety out of the abstract and into concrete processes and requirements is key to ensuring and making it real. So that's an excellent comment. Thank you for
Yes,
sharing
yes.
that, guys. Please keep your questions and comments coming. Any suggestions for us, for Bijan, as he thinks about next year? So, Bijan, I'm going to talk about a very special pre conference education day that you organized. Tell us a little bit more about why you decided to do that and how was it received?
I thought it was received very, very well. To tell you where it came from, because in 2024 we didn't have an education day. One of my goals is to deliver as much value as possible to people who come to these conferences. Partway through the 2024, as I was working on the conference, I thought, what else can I do besides just the content? And I thought, education would be another good thing. And then I invited several leading educators, including yourself, to come and teach. So we added an extra day, the pre-day to the conference, and I had 7 instructors that gave classes, not long classes. Of course, we had to fit all 7. We had to two tracks, and I think it was really well received. A lot of people that attended, and in fact, I came to your class myself, and Naveen, and it was quite lively and energetic. I thought it was a really good one. So
Yeah.
congratulations
So,
to you.
thank you, Bijan. But give us a sense of the topics that were tackled in these workshops before the conference. Give us a flavor of what people learn in those sessions.
There were a number of topics that we had varied. Like we had one that was kind of interesting was about AI. How do we use AI to increase our productivity and capabilities? You spoke about bridging the gap from FMEA to risk assessments. We had another topic about integrating human factors engineering and risk management to connect ISO 62366-1 with ISO 14971. We had a talk or a class by Rick Wedge about integrated development for combinational products. So we talked about safety assurance cases for medical devices, a number of things. So we had 7 classes altogether, and I thought it was quite
Mhm.
a bit of extra value. And because people who are traveling to the conference, well, might as well just come one day earlier and gain a lot of value, because to get the education from all these instructors all at once is not that easy to do, and also expensive because it
Yes.
require travel and all that. This was a nice way to get a flavor.
Yeah, and the topics that you are talking about are really practical problems we all face in our work when we practice safety risk management. So, these workshops provided, I think, a great opportunity for people to learn some hands on tools. And I can speak to the session that I led, which was about FMEA risk management. We all know, have been told many, many times that FMEA alone is not sufficient for safety risk analysis of medical devices. But what else should we be doing? Nobody talks about that. So this whole experience was working with hands-on, working with actual medical devices and building a safety case of the
That was pretty
devices, right?
cool for people online. Naveen actually brought physical devices in the room and he gave it to various working groups and they actually work on the devices. And in this short amount of time, they built an FMEA and interacted
Yeah.
with each other.
And Bijan, we also turned that into a contest that,
Right.
we had teams build a presentation and
That's right.
there was so much energy. So let's move to the conference, main conference now, Bijan. Can you briefly package it together for us about the key topical themes that were discussed during this conference?
The key themes, well, AI, of course, is top of mind for everybody. So we had several talks about AI and machine learning devices. We had topics about intended use, foreseeable misuse, and off-label use. We had a speech about state of the art and how does that compare with standard of care. We had cybersecurity. That was another topic that was discussed. We had some talks about taking a device. Actually, one of our speakers was a professor from University of Southern California, and he brought real life lessons learned for taking products from concepts to delivery and talked about areas that patient safety and risk management played a role and how the difficulties that they would go through. We had let's see what other topics we had. We had one survey of quantitative methods for benefit risk determination. It was just a survey, it was not really an instruction. We had also another talk about FMEAs and that risks can be experienced in non-failure conditions.
Yeah.
Well, actually, we had one talk from a physician,
Yes.
who talked about the role of physicians as patient safety clinicians in risk management. As you know, we have two dimensions to this. We have the
Right.
P1, which is a domain of engineering, and then the P2, which is domain of clinical. And so,
Yes.
so this was a good talk. I was talking about how the physicians and the engineering work together for risk management.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then last one I'll mention is we had a talk by Dr. Jos van Vroonhoven, who is the convener of ISO TC 210, the working group one that creates ISO 14971. I had asked him to come tell us about what's in the future for ISO 14971, what's going to be happening in the next 4, 5, 10 years. And so he gave a speech about that.
Yeah. Well, Bijan, I'm really glad that you mentioned that presentation from a physician, which is a very important role. And I'm so glad that, in fact, I did attend that presentation. I was so amazed by it. Specific examples they shared, how they contributed to the collaborative team experience and the work for safety risk management. And this is something that we have tried to focus on here at Let's Talk Risk, with many different physicians coming on to our show and sharing their perspective. We need more of it, not less. So you mentioned ISO 14971 committee and what's going to happen in the next 5-10 years. And I don't know if you are directly involved, and I'm also not directly involved either, but I'm very curious. Do they have any physicians on the working committee? This is something they should consider.
Yeah, I see Ed Bills is in the audience, I think, and he's one of the participants in the working group one. Maybe he can mention.
Yeah, I would like. I was just curious because if we are talking about the physician's perspective on the ground in practice, we should also talk about a physician's perspective in the
Yeah,
standard itself.
yeah, of course.
So now, Bijan, we have some amazing recommendations coming in from our audience for topics for the next conference, and we're going to go into that now. Florian is sharing that benefit risk assessment and bringing clinical evaluation and risk management closer together would be really nice to see. I like that
Awesome.
idea a lot. I like that idea.
Yeah.
And another example, another suggestion is AI powered risk management is also a topic that is of interest.
Yeah.
Another user member is telling us cybersecurity, ISO TC committee. Someone there in that conference will be nice. So great. So let's move into our future, right? I know you just came back, and I saw you work so hard I saw you. I'm glad that you got a chance to take a breath and relax a little bit. Knowing you, I know you are already so excited about 2026. So tell us how it's coming along. What are you thinking?
Well, even though we have about a year before we have the 2026 conference, there's still already there's a lot going on, and I'm already quite busy and working on it. But what you can expect in the 2026 is again high quality content, engaging speakers, and then a lot of chances to connect and exchange ideas and make new friends and have fun. You know, one of the things that I want people to have fun when they come to this conference. It's not just a dry conference. And so another thing is that this is, at least my vision is that this is not just a conference. We try to create an experience that is not only rich in knowledge, but also energizing and empowering for everybody who attends. I'm also thinking about some new ideas to spice things up, but I'll keep those as a surprise for now until I
Yes.
to
Yes.
develop them. But you know, one thing that has become the hallmark of this conference is quality in everything. The 2024 conference was hosted in the beautiful Medtronic headquarters campus in Minneapolis. 2025 conference was hosted in a 15th century royal palace that has is in the heart of Amsterdam and is turned into a five-star hotel. And we seek to deliver excellence in everything from program content to presenters to venue to food to ambiance. Everything is top notch. And what I can say is that I think for to get the most out of this conference, people should come there in person because the interpersonal conversations, the spontaneous connections, the energy that you feel when you're there in person, it just can't be replicated online. And there's a great deal of value that comes from being there in person. Lots of
Yes.
collaboration, relationships. We had these roundtable discussions that I attended a few of them because there was 10 of them going on, five simultaneously, and I could only attend one or two at a time. And there was a lot of energy, engagement, enthusiasm. And I think what happened, in fact, I know of one of them that has now created an offline group. This one is being led by Fubin Wu. And people are continuing the work that they started at the conference. And they're going to be working together on this during this year and then come to the 2026 conference and report out what they have accomplished and where they've gotten. So I'm quite excited about that. I think together, we are really shaping the future of medical device risk management.
Now, you mentioned that it's very important to attend this conference in person, but we
Yeah.
know that takes time and resources and support from from your company. There is an like live stream version too. Let's share that with our audience how it was done and how they can benefit from the live stream.
Yeah. In order to make it possible for people to more people to access this conference, we live streamed it in 2025. We hired a professional digital production company that used TV studio quality equipment. We had 3 cameras, cameramen, sound technicians, production directors, and project managers for each track. So they made really high quality recordings and they were live streaming at the same time. These recordings are available now for viewing. Unfortunately, the conference producer is only making it available for viewing until July 1st. And then after that, it's going to go silent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But John, we do have a special offer for people who are attending today. We'll talk about that in just a
Yes.
little bit. But let me also, discuss a very important topic with you when it comes to travel and expenses and budget. I know this is a volunteer-driven conference and you are
Yeah.
very mindful of the cost. But tell us a little bit more about the support you provide to people, which I know you do. So let's talk about that. Support you provide to people who cannot afford such an expensive conference. How are you supporting them?
Oh, you're talking about the offer for your audience?
No. People who want to join the conference and they find it too expensive. I know you offer support to them in forms of scholarships and other support. So can you say a little bit more about that?
Well, yeah, it depends, of course, on how the conference unfolds, the expenses, and because we do have to pay the expenses of the conference, of course. But we made some scholarships available for students to attend, some free, some discounted. So I can't tell you exactly how the 2026 conference will go because it just depends on the venue and the costs and all that. But for those people who need financial assistance, they can contact me and we can see what
Yeah.
we can do as far
And
as scholarships.
I think that this is a community driven conference, volunteer driven conference, and so
Mhm.
many people are listening. They have influence in companies they work for, other places they work for. And I want this message to go out that it can't be done by just one or two people alone. We need support from everybody. So let's talk about what kind of support we would request from our community for the 2026 conference.
Well, as you mentioned, Naveen, this is a community activity. It's all volunteer driven. There is no company to or production company to do this. It's just us. And so what I look for is I need all of us to participate. I need especially your ideas, what topics to include. And thanks for Florian to mention two or three topics there. Others, please, you can reach out to me or to Naveen and just let us know what topics you want to hear. How can the conference be improved further? What kinds of things can we put into the conference to even make it more valuable? Soon we will have a call for abstracts published, and then start thinking about topics. If you want to be a presenter, start thinking about topics that you want to present. And I can tell you, we offer help to speakers to help them to hone their subjects and their presentations so they can shine. I invite instructors to come forward if they want to teach a short session in our education day. We'll have another education day. I want to invite companies to step forward to sponsor us, maybe host us, and volunteers to do the work. As you know, I mentioned a lot of things. There's a lot that happens to make an event like this to happen. It's just it's a lot of work.
So, Bijan, I know you are so amazing and so modest. So I'm going to emphasize the 20% that you mentioned in this 80-20. That 20% is very important in terms of sponsorships.
Mhm.
Definitely, we need people to have this conversation within their organizations and see
Yeah,
if they can support from a financial point of view.
yeah, it
Without
really
that,
helps.
things like this cannot happen. And I know everybody's going to say budgets are tight, this and that. But if we want to promote a community and if we want to be known as a leader in this space, and I know there are many leaders in our circle of friends here as well on this show, please, please, please pitch this to your senior management and say this is a worthy effort
Mhm.
for our
Yeah,
financial support and commitment. So I know, Bichan, I wanted to emphasize that because I know how you pitched this in the last 20%, and I don't want this to be missed by anybody.
thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so Alex is asking if location has been identified. I think you are looking into that, and an announcement will come very soon. Okay,
That's
great.
great.
I did have another very good comment from Raymond here. He's talking about a suggestion. He's giving us a suggestion for 2026. AI safety and assurance is also an important aspect. Current risk management practices will need to be advanced to support adaptive models, agentic and autonomous agents, all of which require real-time guardrails that are as intelligent as the AI models they're regulating. So, a lot is happening in our field, right? And so much action, so much excitement. And we look forward to having a great agenda again this year in 2026. So, Bijan, I want to give you maybe a couple of minutes to just package this together and share with us a couple of key takeaway points that we can do this time. And I'll share with you guys a couple of announcements. First, we will not meet next week. Those of you who are regular on this show know that we meet every Friday at 11 Eastern. Next week, we will not be meeting because of a personal commitment that I have. But after that, we will come back again. And the second announcement I want to make, which I briefly referred to in our conversation, is that those of you who registered for this event today and showed up, with Bijan, we're going to offer you access to the recorded sessions in case you missed the conference at a very nominal cost. So look for that email to come to you. And if you're interested in experiencing firsthand what those presentations were, you will receive this special offer. So with that, Bijan, the floor is yours. Please share with us just two or three key takeaway points.
Yeah, this conference started with a one day, one track, and it grew fourfold to 2 days, two track, plus even an extra education day in 2025. So it is so successful because it is a volunteer driven, it's a grassroots effort. We are a group of professionals that are united with a singular noble purpose of patient safety. And I believe that's why it resonates so deeply when you see these passionate people come together around this shared mission of patient safety. Incredible things happen.
Yes. And I feel that in our community here as well on Let's Talk Risk, where people are showing up week after week and sharing these conversations, their insights. So, guys, this is an exciting time to be in our field. So much technology is happening, and we have a opportunity here to contribute. So, with that, Bijan, thank you for sharing this wonderful experience with us and our audience. Thank you for getting us excited about 2026. Guys, I don't know about you, but show me in the comments your reaction. Use some emojis to let us know how you are feeling. Are you excited about these type of events and forums? And are you looking forward to 2020? We would love to have you. We would love to have you as part of this engaged community. And thank you for everything you guys do. Bijan, thanks again for coming to the show. I wish you all the best, and we look forward to staying in touch.
Thank you, Naveen. It's been great.
All right, guys, have a good weekend ahead. Talk to you soon.